Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
There have been a lot of details coming out about these two attacks, and just coming out a little bit ago that at the Old Dominion University attack, the suspect was yelling Allahu Akbar right before he opened fire. And we're also learning again that the car was registered in the West Bloomfield attack at the Temple in Michigan, that individual, at least the vehicle, was registered to a U.S. citizen who was naturalized, but from Lebanon. So we're trying to find out all these different attacks and threats, and who better to talk about all of this and what we all face than Michael Masters. He is the National Director and CEO of the Secure Community Network, which also is piped in with a lot of these calls with the Department of Homeland Security where they're talking about the threat level. First, Michael, your reaction to what happened today in West Bloomfield. I know you monitor a lot of these attacks, especially these anti-Semitic attacks.
So my grandmother always taught me, when people tell you who they are, listen. We've been hearing from Iran. We've been hearing from its proxies. We've been hearing from radicalized individuals that they want to attack the Jewish community. They want to attack Americans. Death to America is not an aspirational statement. It's an intention. And we're seeing that play out on the streets of America, from Texas to the ISIS-inspired attack in New York to today in West Bloomfield. We need to take this threat seriously, and we saw the incredible actions of those security officers do that this afternoon and save countless lives in doing so.
So, Michael, where are the biggest threats? Where are we most vulnerable? Because you're on a lot of these inside calls. And the fact that we've just seen some in the last few hours is very disconcerting.
Well, let me say this. One of the things that the Jewish community has done is invested over $760 million a year on security. That should not be necessary in the greatest country in the world, where religious freedom is a tenet of our belief system.
Hey, Michael, I just want to have you repeat that number again. Our jaws dropped. Did you say $760 million?
$760 million that we as a Jewish community are spending on security a year.
Wow.
At a minimum. And that is so that our kids can go to day school, that our community can walk into a synagogue on Saturday, that we can send our kids to camp, that it is essentially a tax for a faith-based community. But the reason we have that is because so many people are motivated to kill in the name of their own belief system. And where we are seeing that fueled and sped up is in the online environment. Just a witch's brew of hate that is then being elevated and instigated by the Islamic Republic of Iran, the number one state sponsor of terrorism in the world. And with their back up against the wall now, they are certainly calling for that violence. And we heard just last week 2 fatwas from 2 ayatollahs saying, take the fight to their houses, their homes, when their houses refers to our homes and our houses as Americans and as a Jewish community.
You know, this latest attack, there was a security guard who literally took the guy out, but he had a vehicle, it sounds like, maybe loaded with explosives, and also had a loaded rifle. He obviously was planning something horrible. How many synagogues have security, and how many more need to do it? In this case, it was a good guy with a gun who took out a bad guy with a gun.
So the Jewish community, for roughly 3,500 years, we've been under threat. But in this country, really since September 11, 2001, our communities have been making investments. We've dramatically increased those through our Jewish Federation system and national organizations since the massacre in Pittsburgh in 2018, to ensure that our Jewish institutions are investing in security. We've implemented access control, bollards, window film, cameras, guards where they can be accessed, and incredible coordination with the men and women of law enforcement, who I want to compliment always for their incredible response and their service to our community and our country. So most of the Jewish community has been making this investment for decades, and certainly over the last 8 years. And that the outcome of that is what we saw today, an individual who's attempting an attack, but ultimately that attack is mitigated, and the majority of our community who is in that facility and elsewhere was kept safe because of those physical security enhancements, some of which around the country are funded by federal dollars from the Department of Homeland Security, and then the work of the community making those enhancements as well.
And Michael Masters with Secure Community Network. We have Judge Weinberg here.
Michael, it's good to meet you. I want to ask you about this cancer of the normalization of anti-Semitism, because that's what's happening. It's become both from the radical left and the radical right. They've met on that phenomena of anti-Semitism and resurrecting, continuing the oldest hatred. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, it's no compliment to the Jewish community that we're able to bring two groups that together that don't agree on anything else except their desire to hurt and harm us. And that's the supremacist ideology on one side and Islamist extremist ideology on the other. But recognizing that, we should be under no illusion that we have a threat environment that's the most complex and dynamic in this country. But what we're not going to do is allow that ideology to persuade us or force us to hide who we are. We are going to stand up. We are going to stand strong. And we are not going to be kowtowed by this terrorism into hiding our identity or who we are as Jews or Americans in this country, Judge.
Thank you very much. I think it's wonderful. And by the way, why don't you tell people that you were a captain in the Marines? Your background is absolutely exceptional.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to serve this country. It's an honor to serve the Jewish community, as I do. Makes my Jewish mother very happy. But the reality is this shouldn't be necessary in today's environment. But if we're going to face it, we're going to face it as a country united, and we are going to stand up to these terrorists who want to undermine our civilization. They want to undermine our democracy, and they want to undermine faith in this country.
Well, bravo, and thank you for your great service, too. Thank you, Michael. You got to come back on again soon. Michael Masters with Secure Community Network.
Thank you very much.
eye-opening.
Deeply appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.